vital steps in ethics. Okay, so there are two vital steps in ethics. One is knowing what is right, the other is doing it. Fine. This is just an introduction to the question. This is not the actual question. The actual question starts now. In the real world of politics, both are difficult. Critically analyze. Okay, so this is the actual question. In the real world of politics, both are difficult. But I saw some answers. You have not addressed this, but you have started addressing the first part already. Okay, so in the real world of politics, critically examine, and they're asking, they're already coming up with a statement saying in the real world of politics, both are difficult. Do you agree with this? In the real world of politics, following both steps is difficult. How many of you agree? In the real world of politics, yes, you agree that it is difficult to follow both the steps. Now you'll have to substantiate your answer. If you say that yes, I agree with this, in the real world of politics it is difficult, why? You will have to explain why. This is what is taking a stand. Okay, ethics is all about taking a stand. You can't be, you can't beat around the bush, you can't stay in the middle, you can't take the mid path always and everything like that. So you should have clarity. Basically, if I'm doing this, these are the positives, negatives. If I'm doing this, these are the positives, negatives. If I agree with this, yes anta, I will come up with my reason. Okay, so why do you think it is yes? Yes, it is difficult in the real world of politics to follow both the steps. Why? Yake? Conflict of interest, number one. Okay, then value towards money, money having more value, money power overtaking all your ethical thoughts, intentions, values. Okay, anything else? Popularity. Okay, so you will always are supposed to, you're supposed to take a popular decision. You can't go against the popular mandate or the populist opinion. So that's also there, very important. Okay, what else? One has to balance. Okay, so one has to balance what is popularly believed, accepted thought, so popular opinion versus what do you say? Ethics. Okay, what else? Huh? Ethics in the relative concept. So that means ethics can be anything. Even in his opinion, that whatever that he is doing can be ethical. Anta. Okay, diverse nature of what? Okay, so is it difficult in that case? Why? Situational demands. Okay, even situation also demands that you take a wrong decision. Maybe, maybe. Okay. Anything else? New analysis. Systemic glitches. Okay. Systemic glitches. So because of these, and there can be a number of other reasons also. Let's stop here. So because of these reasons, yes, it is difficult for politicians in the real world of politics to make sure that they follow both the steps. And firstly, because they've given these two things, we ourselves should know about these two. Firstly, that elemental requirement. So, two steps in ethics, but I would say there are three steps in ethics. Okay, I would say one is your, this is just theory before I start my answer. So, one is your thought. Okay, so whatever that comes to your mind. Next is your word, whatever you speak out, being a person who holds a public chair, whatever that you speak out. Number three, your action. Okay, all has to be in harmony, and all has to be in harmony, in conjuncture, for you to be happy. Who has actually told this? Gandhiji tells this. Gandhiji says, happiness is when your thinking, word and action are in harmony. Okay, so all the things. So in the question they say ethics will have two steps. One is right thought, that is knowing what is right. That's also important. Me killing an animal, I don't even know killing an animal is right or wrong. My knowledge about ethics is lacking. Okay, so basically thought, knowledge, know-how, this is important. What is right, what is wrong is important to know already. And then number two, doing it. So both of these two things will be a part of doing it. I just know that speaking out against some harassment against a woman that is happening in public is right, but I don't speak up. Okay, my word, I don't give credence to my word. I don't speak up, or even if I speak up, I say that yes, harassing women is wrong, but next day I go to some other place, I harass a woman myself. I don't stand by my word. Okay, so knowledge and doing it is actually should they are the different steps, and for ethics to have its completion, both should be followed. Okay, ultimately. So this is what the question is asking. And now about the politicians, and most of you gave your opinion that it is yes, difficult for politicians. Now if you want to say no, in the real world of politics, the two steps of ethics, that is knowing something and actually doing it, they can be followed. In the real world of politics, this can be done. Yes, there are optimistic people here. Yes, why and how? Any example? Okay, I just am asking, if you think no, it can be followed, the statement that is actually being asked here, I would want to criticize it. No, the statement is wrong. Actually, it can be followed. And why or how can it be followed? What it takes to follow this? Yes, yeah, I'm asking you that. Why are you being so aggressive and arrogant? Huh? Okay. So, commitment is needed. If you think yes, commitment is needed. Sacrifice is needed. Of course, yes. Okay, then selflessness, integrity, all these are needed, yes, fine. But in the real world of politics is a question, so you'll have to be practical. If someone has stood by these things, if whatever that you are quoting, please quote examples. Like someone who is very committed, who stands by both knowing things and doing it right. Lal Bahadur Shastri, yes, you can give this example, committed to his word. Lal Bahadur Shastri. Okay, next, what else? Any other example? Madam Curie, ಯಾವ sense ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Sacrifice. We are talking about the real world of politics. Huh. Kamaraj, Tamil Nadu CM. Okay. Huh. Anyone who has been very selfless? Manik Sarkar. Tripura. Yes, exactly. They should sacrifice a lot of things. They should sacrifice them leading a lavish life, probably, like Manik Sarkar, whose whatever that he has declared assets officially is the lowest among the chief ministers in India. That's a very good example. Okay, so just like this. So when they're asking you to critically examine something, you will have to examine from both sides. If we are saying yes, we'll have 100 reasons, that's okay. But someone who says no actually is a positivist. Someone who says no is actually an optimist. And you will have to have strong points, like how he is saying you need to have commitment, you need to show some sacrifice, selflessness, etc. And people have shown it. That's how it is possible. Okay, so done. So this was the question, and this is you thinking about any question without giving much what do you call theoretical touch to an answer, but giving a theoretical touch to an answer is also important. So when they're asking about politics, what kind of politics that comes to our mind is our system, that is democracy. And democracy is basically, is it not that we have given our freedom, our the responsibility to take care of us to a few people, to a few hands, is it not? So what do you call that theory as? There's something called, yes, closer, democracy, social contract theory. Yes, okay. So there is something called social contract theory, and our democracy, our political system is basically based on this. And who are the proponents of social contract theory? John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Thomas Hobbes. These people spoke of it. And what does it have uh, any relevance to this question? Yes, of course. So basically, for politicians to do the right things in the right world, they'll be basing themselves on the greatest good of the greatest number of people. Is it not? To be practical. So what do you call that as? The thought as, yes, most of the times they should have to be utilitarians. Okay, though they know what is right and wrong, though they know that certain actions can be disastrous, they can be wrong or something, but keeping in the mind the greatest good of greatest number of people, they'll go for this, the utilitarian principle. And utilitarian principle uh, can try actually, yes, highest good, yes, can actually try to improvise or improve the society both qualitatively and quantitatively. Who spoke of quantitative improvement in terms of utilitarianism? This person called Jeremy Bentham, you know this name, and John Stuart Mill. Quantitative, qualitative improvement. So at times it asks for a sacrifice of either of the steps when it comes to being utilitarians. And in our system, especially democracy, popular mandate, populist system, it is most of the times utilitarianism that our politicians stick to. Okay, so this is giving a theoretical touch to the answer. We have both theoretical touch, the practical touch. We have understood the actual question. We have tried to address each sub question of the question. Okay, so this is important. So whenever a question is asked, please understand the question thoroughly, properly. Read it twice before you answer, or else you will be missing out on the essence of the question itself. So as I said, this question actually starts from in the real world of politics, but our 90% of the answer would have been on the first sentence, 2 vital steps of ethics, knowing what is right and doing it. Okay, so don't make that mistake. We'll move to the next question. No, you need to write. Actually, that's kind of a sub question in this question. You need to write. That's why I explained you about Gandhiji's harmony thing, how ethics actually transforms from your minds into action. That's what I said. The theoretical part is necessary, and addressing each sub question is necessary. But what is the actual essence of this question is what is important. You'll have to be very contextual. Okay, so they're asking you in the real world of politics. Sometimes they will ask you directly in this context, comma, in the real world of politics. Both are difficult. How do you examine this? So that can be a question. Okay, they may ask you contextually explain, or they may not. That's there. Okay. Yes. Anything else? Yes. According to the directive words. Yes. Directive words here they have specifically mentioned critically analyze. So you are not supposed to openly accept what is there, what is being asked directly. I may accept the sentence, I may not. I may criticize the sentence. I am expected to talk about both the positives as well as the negatives of the sentence that is being given. I should have to have both versions of thinking of any sentence or a question that gets asked. If they ask me to just elaborate, not in here, they will not elaborate. Okay, so a question may come like this: forest rights have not been completely given to our tribals post-independent era. Full stop. Elaborate on this. So you may have to explain why. Explain the historical from the historical perspective. you will choose to explain things from a historical perspective. If they ask you to discuss, okay, not in this question, you can't do it. So if they ask you to discuss, again, you will have to have n number of what you call various uh, mm, various things about to explain. I mean, various perspectives of an answer. Okay, various perspectives when they ask you to discuss, because what they mean by discuss is that suppose if this answer is being written, is being scripted after a discussion. If five people are sitting in a discussion, five people will have their own perspectives, opinions. So if you stand in the shoes of all those five people, what are the various perspectives you may have? That's what is meant by discuss. Sometimes enumerate. Enumerate is very simple. You will have to just enumerate. List out, simple. So your approach actually doesn't change too much, but it has to be according to the directive words that gets asked. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, so next question is just please write down. You need not answer, just write down. Yeah. Integrity is the bridge between responsibility in private and professional life. Full stop. Give your perception in this regard. Give your perception in this regard with due justification. With the due justification. Okay, so they're asking you a question saying integrity is a bridge between your responsibility in your private life as well as your professional life. Well, stop. Give your perception in this regard with due justification. Okay, simple. Your perception. Okay, your perception is how do you take this thought as? How do you accept this sentence? So, do you accept this sentence? Integrity is a bridge between your private is a bridge between responsibility in private and professional life. Do you accept, everyone? Anyone who says no, I don't go by this. I will say professional life is very professional, private life is private. Whatever that happens inside my house is stay inside my house. Whatever that happens inside my office should stay inside my office. So it actually varies. It's not, there need not be a bridge between them. So this perception, does anyone want to go with this perception? Okay, but the question is, yeah, you are saying Gandhiji could not, who said that he could fulfill his responsibility? He himself. Yes, okay. So he himself says that I could not fulfill all my responsibilities in my private life, but I could do something in my professional life. That's okay. But integrity is like, it's a bridge between both. The responsibilities, it bridges both. So you accept this, everyone? The bridge? Okay, so even actually I go by this perception. Yes, I would say, yes, I would accept with the sentence, yes, integrity should be a bridge between our responsibilities in our private life and professional life. So I'll give you a new idea of what is integrity. What is integrity? What is integrity? Adhering to ethics continuously. Anything else? What is integrity? Being good in all this, being good or right, right in all the situations. Yes. Even in the toughest of times, we should not compromise. That's integrity. Yes. Okay. Anything less? Uprightness. Okay. Even in the toughest times. Okay. Anything else? Doing what we speak is integrity. Okay. Consistency. Amazing. Correct. True. And more than being good. Film dialogue, I know. So, consistency in our thoughts and being right no matter what, and taking the ethical pathway even in the toughest of times. Okay. So being honest, being upright, being right at all situations. Correct? This is integrity. So I'll give you a new idea about integrity. So what do you mean by this word integral? Integral. Wholesome. Yes. Everything at place. So integrity is basically, let me take it as this. Discipline is part of integrity. Yeah, punctuality is part of integrity. Honesty is part of integrity. Being transparent is part of integrity. Being upright, open, etc., 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 showing probity is part of integrity. So it goes like this. And if you're a very, let me say that you're a very punctual person, very disciplined, okay, and then you're very upright, but you're not transparent. Can I call you as integral? No, simple. So you're everything, but just one part of your quality in your personality is lacking. I can't call you as integral. Okay. So if I am taking the same definition here, I'll give you an example. Suppose an officer, he respects women in his office. He has made sure that there are all arrangements for their safeguard, for the upliftment of their welfare, etc., etc. Basically, there is a very good environment for women to work. Suppose if I am the officer in my office, okay, I give the greatest credit to their work, the greatest respect to their presence. All fine, all that is good. Okay, back home, when I am home, I don't respect my wife. I beat her. I actually talk to her in a very rude manner. I don't respect her. I treat her in a very bad fashion. So basically, my treatment towards a woman at my house is indifferent from how I treat women in my office. Can I be integral with respect to the respect that I show towards women? Is this integrity? That's it. So this is what is expected in this question. So if you're integral everywhere. If you're showing respect towards women in your house, that will reflect in your office also. Okay. It's not like there can be a complete barrier between your professional life and public life. You can't say one thing professionally and profess something else in your personal life. Okay. So there has to, it's a bridge. It is continuous. It says integrity is continuous. It's not discrete. You can't have different opinions. At my home, I speak very bad about certain section of people, certain caste, certain religion. I have a very bad attitude towards them. At my house, I speak it. I speak it in front of my wife, children, parents, someone who is very personal to me. And I say it's okay to speak such things at home. And in the office, I actually, I'm very unbiased. I respect all sections, all castes, all religions, etc. I say that I uphold the right to equality. But in my house, I have a different attitude towards them. Can I be integral now? No. Integrity is continuous. Okay. So that's what is being spoken here. So I completely accept to whatever that is being given in this question, the sentence that is being asked in this question. and this is my justification. It has to be continuous. Yes, there has to be a bridge, and yes, there is a bridge basically. So this is my justification also. Okay, you got it? Any doubts in this? Any questions? Yes, like in the example that I gave, the responsibility of me being an officer, I'm responsible to treat the women well in my office. That's my responsibility, and I've done well. It is also my responsibility as a husband to treat my wife in a very good manner, which I did not do. So here I am not sticking to my responsibility. Okay. Yes. Okay. So can we move to the next question? So before we move to the next GS kind of question, I'll just take up one case study also. Okay, done. This is a very good question. So if you don't have the question paper, just take a minute and write down the question itself. Fast. You are posted as Superintendent of Police, SP,